world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Hello, viewers around the world. Good day to you. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwa, and you're here tuned into our Friday International Global Updates. Joining me from Canada, Toronto, Canada, is the big man, George Chukwu. So, George Chukwu, good day to you.
Good morning, Massive Mark from Canada, and viewers from around the world. Welcome to our Friday International News Updates.
Yes, George. George, hope the weather has is coming down now. I hope.
Very much so. It's coming down. It's as a matter of fact, it's chilly this morning.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it's normalizing. So we're happy.
Okay, we're happy. Europe is still blazing hot. But there's a place that gets real nice at all points in time, and that's Africa. And we have Ola Yinka Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. Yinka, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Sir George. And more importantly, good morning, all our viewers from around the world. Welcome to our Friday program.
Ola Yinka Raji, my man.
At your service.
Yes.
Good to see you.
The beautiful thing about life is there are always these two sides to everything. No two people agree on everything. It's always two, and God also created two pairs, the man, the woman, the positive, the negative, light and darkness. It's always two.
That's it.
Yes, and it's a nice thing. It gives that idea of freedom. Everybody has the freedom to choose between those two. All right, gentlemen, you're welcome. We are looking at some stories. United States have begun something very strange. When our interior minister told us about it, some of us thought he was making up stories, but it's true. United States is using Africa as a spot
a dumping ground.
Dumping ground. George, tell us. Dumping ground. George, what's that?
Well, following the story regarding the deportation of criminals, in a bold move, U.S. is ramping up that deportation. The Trump administration has sent 5 convicted violent criminals, including murders and rape of children, to the small African kingdom of Eswatini, formerly called Swaziland.
Yes.
Besides none of these being citizens of that particular place, they are sending these violent criminals. One of the major questions you ask, why are they doing this? Well, it seems as if the U.S. is looking at the money that they're going to be spending in housing these criminals. And they would rather have another country divide the money in half and then send them to these countries and pay these countries to house these criminals. Now, what you call the Global Deportation Network, they struck deals with countries like El Salvador, South Sudan, Kosovo to accept deportees whose home nations refuse repatriation for these criminals, to accept deportees to their homes. And then critics are warning that some of these destinations might bring conflict to reading, like some places like South Sudan that pose grave risk. But What the U.S. is doing is not giving these people even any kind of warning. In less than 5 hours, they will just tell the people to get ready, and they will just move them and deport them to places like Kosovo, El Salvador. Now, with regarding Nigeria, I know that the calls were made to Nigeria to accept these criminals. But what we were saying last time was that the minister is using that as an excuse to say that this is the reason why Trump administration was trying to limit the travel of Nigerians to US and limited that 3 months one-time entry type of visa. That's what he was saying, but I don't think that is the case. So the legal backlash that we're seeing in the United States of America is like the Supreme Court recently gave a little green light to this policy. They found a way to open up a loophole for Trump administration to be able to do this, and that's what is what we're seeing right now. Now, whether this is correct or not is another question, but I think they are learning from UK. Remember when UK started doing this, they wanted to use what do you call it again? This country, Rwanda, to receive their criminals, and they lost a lot of money in the bid of to do that after the change of government. The US is capitalizing on that, and what they are doing is some of these criminals, they just want to take them out of America, but the money they use, because they obey the Constitution in America, these criminals, there are certain things like health and all those things that they enjoy being in prison, food and shelter. So some of them are not going to be abused. So as a result of that, U.S. deems it necessary to move them to some other countries where they can pay 1/3 of what they would have been spending to house these criminals in other places like Aswatini. So that's what we're seeing, for the meantime. Is Massive Mark there?
I think he has gone out.
Okay.
Look, I really don't understand why you deport a criminal, a Nigerian criminal, for instance, and take him to El Salvador. Why don't you deport him to his home country, where
because their countries are refusing to accept them? We can't force them to take them. They have to agree to receive them. And remember, there are some benefits in receiving these criminals and housing them and feeding them. But what America is actually considering is, if you're housing these criminals for so long, you're spending each individual additional money is actually proposed for each one. But they can take that money and divide it in 3 and pay these other countries.
You've explained that, but I still don't see the sense in deporting somebody to a strange country where he knows nobody. So what are they going to be doing in those countries?
There's being still housed something and being right. Fed. Maybe these countries might give them, what bread of affliction and water of suffering. Maybe, I don't know. Because so why don't they
why don't they send them to their original colonies where they used to send their criminals before? Australia, New Zealand, and all those outposts. Why don't they send them there? Why they send them to?
Because
Australia and New Zealand were started by prisoners and rejects of society who were taken from Britain, UK, to all those far away places.
Alaika, you have to understand there is something, as much as it doesn't make sense. But what this is sending a fear to people who will commit such, heinous crimes. And because the government is not looking at humanitarian concerns in what they are doing. To them, you are a criminal, you committed a violent crime, therefore we can do with you as we want. And basically, that's a message that they're sending to people who wants to commit such heinous crimes.
Honestly, current world logic seems very strange to me. I think there's something in the air, or there's something in the water they are drinking or breathing in that is warping logic. Because otherwise, what is happening in Gaza should have brought up a lot of the world against what is happening in Gaza. But what is going on every day? More than 20, 200 people are killed in Gaza. Every day, these people, millions of people are being starved to death, deliberately starved to death, and the world is not worried. Every day, Israel will decide to bomb Syria or decide to bomb Lebanon, and there's nothing being said about the whole world. There's something in the air that we are breathing that is warping our mentality. Luckily, I'm in Africa, and I don't think that air is around here yet.
Well,
So,
okay, Ola, I agree
yeah.
with you that it doesn't make sense. But you have to understand, they have a government that doesn't kind of reason the way we do.
That's why I
And
say there's something in the
it's
air.
blatantly disregard to humanitarian concerns and
There's
other concerns that any decent human being would have, even with a
the,
criminal.
there's something in the water that they are drinking, or the drugs that they are taking
You
that
see,
is warping
it's called
logic.
the water. It's called the water of Trump. The water of Trump.
It is
The water
it is
of
strange to
Trump.
me. It is strange to me. Currently, Europe is trying to weaponize itself against a suspected invasion of Russia. Instead of collaborating with Russia, they have been in the same continent for millennia. Why don't you collaborate with each other other than fear mongering among yourselves? And then the money you should have used to look after your citizens, you are looking to acquire American weapons. No, there's something in the air. The air has not come to, well, maybe I have not breathed enough of it to warp my logic or to warp my
Yeah.
humanity. That's why I'm still talking like this.
Yeah, but a lot of a lot of U.S. Citizens, they are criticizing the move. They urge alternative like community-based monitoring over costly detention, which actually strains the budget and environment. So that's the major issue there. There are alternative ways of doing these things, but what the message they're trying to send is those that are committing violent crimes should find other places to go and do it. And as debate over immigration raged, the human environment cost of this policy remained very, very high and is in the spotlight all over US. So not everybody
Uh,
agrees with that type of move.
yes.
But because they
Just
have ball
imagine.
over the Supreme Court
Mm,
does whatever Trump wants. They find
yes.
technicalities
Yes.
and loopholes to approve it, which is not
Mm,
balanced
mm.
in a way
Is
because
just imagine the amount of funds that they have used to have to deploy ICE into society to be going after individuals. Just imagine the amount of time and effort and funds. That's why, for instance, Elon Musk was surprised. We are trying to cut costs. What you are doing now is a big and beautiful expenditure. It
but you
is
see
unconscionable.
Trump Trump is using his political promises to the people as a in trying to fulfill them to exhibit wickedness and painful things, which is not generally acceptable to everybody, but he does what he wants and he
No,
gets what he wants.
you remember that Obama probably uh, deported more immigrants than Trump has done so far.
Yeah, but
It
you
was so
see, the
subtle.
difference between Obama and Trump is Obama allows them to go through the process and they get
Mm,
deported. Constitutionally, they obey the law. But here they
yeah,
don't. And
it's
if it
brute
proves
force.
difficult for them, they will find a way to manipulate the system to allow them to
Mm,
do those wicked acts that they are doing. So and that's the
yeah,
difference between the two. So Obama quietly was deporting quite a few number of people, but they go through the normal
hundreds of
process.
thousands.
Huh?
Mm, hundreds of thousands.
Oh, hundreds of thousands. Yeah, he did.
Yes,
But
yes, he
he
did.
allowed the law to take his
Very, very
place.
subtle.
Yeah. He
When
allowed the
an
law to take his
intelligent,
place. Nobody's
when an
arguing.
intelligent, sorry, Sir George, when an intelligent person decides to be wicked, it is dangerous. But when
Well,
the fool starts to be weak, stupid man starts to be wicked, it's
but you
obvious to
see, you
everybody.
see, you see, you see, you see, if you allow the law to take its own place in the decision
Mm,
making, that's why the criticisms were less. This one, that
mm.
what they're arguing is not deportation of these people. Allow them to go through the normal process of the law, through the procedure. If they lose and the Justice Department says go, then they deport these people. Now, as wicked as that might be, and that might look like, yet it was done through the normal process and it wasn't so publicized. But this one, he's publicizing it so much, he wants to make noise about it so that he will put fear on those who want to come and commit crime. But you see, one of the
Yes,
major things that we're doing here is Trump is not going to be the president forever. So Trump is after his fourth year. He will have to step down whether he likes it or not, unless
to
he
be a
finds a
long,
way to start a war somewhere
it,
and
it will be
declare
a
a
very
state of
long,
emergency,
yes, it will be a
which
very
we know
long
that he
4 years
might do.
for,
But his age is beginning to tell on him too.
and even his health. It will be a very long 4 years for you Americans. Very, very long 4 years.
It's already there. It's already there. But anyway, so
Mm.
since Mark is not here
Yeah,
yet, so there's another news on the horizon, and that is the visitation of the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan. He just came
yes.
to, to Africa to do some
Mm.
collaborative meetings and all that kind of stuff. And in his speech, he named Lagos. Actually, one
Gentlemen,
yes.
I'm sorry. These are some of those hitches you go through
Mm.
as we build up. Sorry, the heat is affecting us, and some of the gadgets still needs to be upgraded. Doors will open. Doors will open. Good discussion, George. Good discussion, Raji. Yes, US has been doing this now. Already, we've seen a couple of countries, they've done this too. Take note that last month, about 8 men were deported to South Sudan. South Sudan. And uh, even the Sudanese government, the South Sudan government doesn't want to really tell us what's going on. But eight criminals were brought to their countries, and they some people said they are violent criminals. They are, but this is what America is doing. So when our Interior Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs, told us this is some of the rationale behind why that story of putting us in the
Clemens.
black. Yes, now we
Mm.
see that it's kind of true. George, is that not so?
I personally do not believe that that is the reason why the visa situation took place. I personally
Okay,
don't believe that. It might be one of the motivations, but
okay,
Yeah.
citing what it is, maybe they use this refusal as a way. After all, Nigeria was not the only country they called. They called several countries.
okay.
Mm.
So, but I think that the minister was actually using this as an excuse to say this is the reason why the visa uh, uh, um,
Mhm.
limitation was implemented
Implemented.
by
Okay,
Trump administration. It
okay,
could have
okay.
something to do with it, but I don't think
Mhm.
that's the only reason.
The
I
only
believe
reason.
that it was called a retaliatory type of move, which they promised they
Move.
were going to do
Okay,
previously, and then
okay.
implemented it recently.
So
But
sorry,
anyway, mhm.
hold on. Nigeria still has Nigeria still has 5 years, 10 years visa for Americans. What what the 90-day thing happened was about e-visa. That is a visa at arrival, visa on
Yeah,
arrival
on
to make the
arrival.
process very, 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 very smooth. You do everything you want to do online so that when you arrive, everything will have been done. It to be smooth. So there's no restriction on visas to Americans. Nigeria still offers 5 to 10 years.
But gentlemen, listen to this. The that country, former Swaziland,
It's right.
Eswatini,
It's what
they don't seem
it's
to
what
understand that there could be implications in this. The king, remember the young man, that king that marries medians every year, new virgin ladies every year.
it
He,
is their
he's so
culture.
excited. He's so excited about it. I think some financial assistance has also been put in place to that effect.
That's
So
the major attraction.
they are looking at those attractions. They're not looking at the fact that hardened criminals are not being imported into their country, and it might have some future implication. Raji, what do you say?
Now, if those criminals get married to Swahili maidens, their children, are they going to be citizens or what? There are so many things happening. Yes. So, but I don't really see why Eswatini will take those criminals, because they are not in debt. They don't need anything. They are living a very pristine life. So I don't know why they have to go to disrupt their own existence with criminals, foreign criminals for that matter.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. So Trump has his plans of taking out hardened criminals from America. Maybe they will bring Puff Daddy, PDD, to Nigeria. Judge.
So yeah, he's not a violent criminal.
Okay.
He's not a violent, they want to
After all,
retain
the
him.
crime he committed, Trump committed too, and was
Okay.
found guilty of
I was very guilty.
groping.
Okay. So
Actually,
mhm.
what we saw is that in a recent ICE memo allows deportation with just 6 hours notice in
Okay.
urgent cases, bypassing the traditional hearing. So it's
Mhm.
almost like 6 hours they tell you gotta go, get ready. 6 hours they pick you up, you're out of the country, going to
You
another
find
place you
yourself
don't
in the
even
Navy.
know. And and one of the major problems is that they go to these countries, and these countries might not even speak English. So communication is another issue. Because some of these people that are being taken outside the country, they might have grown up in America speaking English and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
countries they go into have no, they might not even speak English.
Yes, that's
So
true.
that's one of the major problems. One of the major concerns is the war-torn Sudan, where they have sent some criminals
Yes.
there. So,
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
and these countries are accepting them because when these people come, as a matter of fact, you might even be so surprised that they might even live a better life in these countries than what they are living in America, because the food they feed them in America might be quite different. But over here, with such small money, these people will eat organic, enriched food, and their health might even be better than what they were receiving in America.
No, George, I don't think you should laugh about that. That's a very important thing to say, because if these prisoners own up to that new life, the reality of living in another country, it might be of beneficial, it might be of benefit to them. It might change, their life, their future, and everything. Because, yes, when they did it in Kenya, there was when the British people did it in Kenya, there was a fund given, so there was allowance given to the prisoners every month, and I bet you that allowance is even far higher than the average take home of the
Salaries
Kenyan,
being paid to the
yes, salary
countrymen,
being paid. So,
what they
you
earning
you
yearly.
might you might find that there might be some benefits on the other side to the prisoners and even to the country, but on the whole, why bring a different a different person to another land totally different from where he or she is coming from? So that's it, viewers. Viewers, we're talking real deep here. America's plan to
Taking too
bring
long.
deportees into Africa is receiving some aggressive clampdown from different countries, and some countries are also saying, "Okay, let's have them," depending on what the conditions are. All right, gentlemen, thank you. Let's move on Trump again. Trump and Vladimir Putin, they are still having their animosity growing. Raji, you were talking earlier of how the world is going now, what water and food people are eating. So why can't these two people settle? Why can't we have peace in that part of the world, Ukraine, Russia? Now
Yeah,
Trump is
egos are involved, and when egos are involved, especially some with very brutal egos, between Zelensky, the comedian, and Trump, the bully. A lot of brittle ego coming over there. And then when you look at a very intelligent, very, very grounded Putin, you know, who marshals his arguments perfectly, it's difficult to for
You say that
oil and
Putin
water
is
to mix.
grounded, eh?
Yes, in his argument.
He's
In
grounded
his
with
argument, when he puts his facts down, you can hardly fault him. But these other two are quite emotional. Yes.
well, if Putin is grounded, I wonder what um, Stalin would have been if he's grounded.
No, Stalin is
A
different.
minister
Stalin
was
was
fired. A
never.
few minutes later, found a gunshot in the head. Prigozhin flies off and dies in the air. And, opponents are, being, died mysteriously. And that's groundedness. That's groundedness.
That's your definition of
Strong words,
groundedness.
George. Raji, George
That's
just hit you there.
that's your no, hold on.
Okay.
That's your the own definition. I'm talking about intelligence. Putin is far more intelligent than Zelensky and Trump combined, raised to power 10. This man is grounded in intelligence. He was in the KGB. He knows what he says when he's saying.
Okay,
That's what
but
I
that's
mean.
your
Something
point
that
of
is
view,
said about
Raji.
intelligence. Intelligence
Mhm.
can be very important, but intelligence, criminals are very intelligent too. Because they're not intelligent, they're not going to be able to, do some of the things that they do and get away with it. So such type of intelligence is not attractive at all. When people are
How many
dying
of
all
them?
over, everybody that rises up to, to criticize you or to say something about you ends up dead and or being poisoned. Are you calling that grounded intelligence? That's wickedness. That's
You are arguing.
complete and
You
absolute
are actually arguing.
wickedness.
You are actually arguing with yourself.
I'm not
That's why
arguing
I'm
with me.
quiet.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm
You're
just
arguing
telling
with
you
yourself.
to call that
You are doing the pros and
that
cons by
Putin is
yourself. So go ahead.
grounded intelligence. That intelligence is not what we want. You want an intelligent person who is going to care about the life of people, not because of your own egotistical, ideological purity. You want to come and kill everybody that says something about you. That's not grounded intelligence. That's wickedness. And this is the reason why most of the time
I have
we
told
try to
you that you
color
are
the
arguing
things
with
that people
yourself.
are
So you
doing that
can go
is
on
mean.
and arguing with
It's not
yourself.
acceptable at all. Let's call the truth the truth.
Okay, Raji, you observe that when one is talking and another one is talking, it brings that clash. We don't listen. So let George finish, and please let's not use those words arguing among yourself. People are here listening.
Uh-uh.
He's saying his own point. No, sorry. Everybody has their point of view and their own opinion. So you don't
So
downplay, downgrade
so
anybody.
why is
Do
my
your
point of
own.
view different?
That's it.
I'm just
Eh?
saying my point of view that as it is
Mhm.
now, he's arguing with himself. That's why I'm keeping
No,
quiet.
no, Joraji, please. That's a little bit on the offensive side. I wouldn't like us to use those words. He's giving his own view. That's his opinion. You said yours. He didn't tell you you're arguing yourself. So he's saying his own, and that's what it is. Now, gentlemen,
Please, can you move on?
Trump has
Please.
also said that he's now endorsing NATO. Take note that when Trump came in, he had issues with NATO. He doesn't believe in what NATO is doing, but there's a reverse now with the relationship. We saw him also with the NATO new boss, and he's now looking into more alliance, more collaboration with NATO. He jokingly asks Zelensky if he's given the opportunity, will he bomb Moscow? This was on Monday. So things are playing out. Nobody is lesser. Everybody is playing their mind. I mean, everybody's playing, coming strong as they can. What we are doing is talking about it. So go ahead, Raji. What do you want to say?
Rather than looking for world peace, in fact, it's surprising to me that America has never been in the forefront of ensuring that there's peace in the world. That's why America has more than 750 military outposts around the world In a world where we have less than 200 countries, America has more than 750 military outposts around the world. America is not for peace. That's why America now is interested in NATO. America is not for peace. We should be looking for peace rather than for war. American economy seems to depend on war, in spite of the fact that violent rise has never made much progress. America has spent more than $50 trillion on unnecessary and endless wars, funds that they could have used to make America great again.
Well,
Thank
anyway,
you.
listen
Yes,
to this.
George.
Listen to this. As much as we might argue about Americans' presence, in different parts of the world, it's part of control. America is considered the grandfather of protection to many countries. The reason why you see many countries that are not paying, spending additional billions of dollars to buy weapons is because of that collaboration with NATO. So now, when they pay their own money into NATO, NATO is now equipping, the countries like U.S. and their presence. Money is being used to protect these smaller countries, and the reason is necessary simply because of the mad individuals, like the people you see in Afghanistan, in Iran, and then also in Russia. And China, who wants to get their head up to go after Taiwan. So these are the reasons why the presence of America in many of these countries is absolutely necessary. Canada is beginning now to spend a little bit more money on military equipment. But prior to Trump, they were paying into NATO. And NATO now is actually using some of that money to buy weapons from the United States of America and other countries in order to protect smaller, weaker countries. So it is necessary for such to be, because look at what is happening in Russia with Ukraine. If given the opportunity, the fear that a lot of countries around there are having. I was in what do you call in one of these countries, Poland, the other time.
Poland.
Talk to the citizens there. Their fear was like, if Trump actually acquires Ukraine, he will go after other countries. And that is the type of madness that we need to stop. And if American presence is not there to deter them, they will continue to do so.
If
I hail America in a way
mean.
for protecting many of these other countries and allied countries. So I hail them to that degree. But there are some, it's not perfect, but it is necessary.
If Russia, you mean Russia gets Ukraine?
No,
If Russia gets Ukraine, then they would
Okay.
then start looking into Poland and other areas. And you talk to the people, they were afraid of that. I mean, the citizens were afraid. And, and that fear is well-founded.
Okay.
Because of the aggression these people are using, because of, using your superpower to just go and disturb, trouble the water of a country that is there because you're weaker than them. Russia is now realizing that it's not that easy for them to go and say, I'm going to take over in 6 days. It's not that easy. They're spending trillions of dollars also owing other countries for the weapons that they're producing for them. So the point about it is American presence is very well welcome with many countries who are not spending billions to buy weapons for their own protection.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George. Let's go to have some let's go have a glass of water. We'll be back. Thank you.
Yes.
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming to pass. But I'm telling you, the final solution has been found many years ago in the Bible, because the Bible simply says righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. So I want you to know that you can get solutions to problems in Ukraine, in Russia, in Nigeria, indeed all parts of the world. We need that solution, and the solution is straightforward. please get a copy of my book. It's the Final Solution by Bishop Schengen Johnson, and you can find it in Kindle, in Amazon. Just type Bishop Schengen Johnson, The Final Solution. It will come. It's very, very small book you can read within 2 hours, but it contains the final solution. Do get a copy. Not getting it is doing disservice to humanity. Don't forget the final.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
The solution is not to take Africans and move them to Europe. The solution is to free Africa from certain Europeans who exploit it and allow these people to live off what they have. This is called the CFA franc, a colonial currency that France prints for 14 African nations, and by virtue of which it exploits the resources of this nation. This is a child working in a gold mine in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is one of the poorest nations in the world. For Burkina Faso, which has gold, France prints colonial currency. In return, it demands that 50% of everything Burkina Faso exports ends up in the coffers of the French treasury. The gold that this child crawls into a tunnel to extract mostly ends up in the coffers of the French state. So
Raji, and yeah, you're welcome. Viewers, we're tuned back in Friday SSM International Update. The words of the Italian Prime Minister Meloni will forever echo. You know, we have that as one of the ads we run on this network, exposing some of those things that used to, I mean, they've covered all of these years now. How France has this clause on Africa. But George and Raji, let's just say small before we go into the other topic. Is it not time for Africans also to realize that they can help themselves? I mean, some of them still depend on these white colonial masters or whatever you call them. What do you think, Raji?
Let's take Libya.
Mm-hmm.
Libya. Why did America invade Libya and turn Libya, which was a flourishing country, into a state now where there's no government? And where is the sovereign wealth of Libya? Over $150 billion. What has happened to the industries, the oil industries of Libya? How are the people living now? In Libya, at a point, there were no taxes. If you get married, you are set up. The country was blooming. But what did America do? What did America do? And Libya was trying to get off the World Bank, the Federal Reserve System, World Banking System.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. They are the same problem America has with Iran. Wherever, in fact, there have been cases where wherever an African country had tried to cut links from all these colonial forces, there have been a change in government. The same thing happened in Congo. The same happened in Togo. The same thing. So in Guinea, in Guinea Conakry, when Secretary refused to go on with their French presence, the French even removed bulbs from the country, poured concrete in sewage pipes, virtually destroyed the country before leaving. So you see, the wickedness of the is the wickedness in colonial powers.
Yes.
Where they have to extract as much as possible from their colonial countries. Nigeria is still there. What is happening to our oil? Who owns our oil? You see? So it is very few African countries have been able to go free. And with the world economics as it is, you find yourself being shrunk into a corner, and until you agree to be subdued.
Agree to be subdued. George, do you agree with this?
Well, listen,
powerful words of right?
during the Arab Spring, a lot of things took place. Many wrongs were done. Many leaders that were sponsored by these countries were eliminated simply because of the Arab Spring. And Libya is one of those. But the question we're going to ask ourselves is this. Gaddafi was killed. But did that stop the nation, educated and uneducated, to come together and man their own? Was Gaddafi the only savior that they had? Can they come together and put their country together? What if Gaddafi had been in a plane crash? Would this be the way the country would be run? These people are intelligent. So what I'm saying is sometimes we blame, the blamables because they are to be blamed. But what happens after that? Is it because Libya was only to be governed by Gaddafi, and without Gaddafi they will not be able to survive? Yeah, Gaddafi was killed, wrongly admitted. But what happened since then? Why can't they come together and form a very cohesive, proactive government that can actually go back and start doing what Gaddafi was doing? What stops them from doing that? Is it because Gaddafi was the only savior that they had? Gaddafi is done. But how long ago did this happen?
Okay.
And the country is still in chaos. Why is the country in chaos? Why can't the country come together and man their own place? So this is one major thing that we need to understand. Understandably so. The blamable were blamed. They were wrong by killing that man, in my own estimation. And including when they killed Saddam Hussein. But the problem is, maybe this is the reason what they saw, why they put tyrants and those type of leaders in this country and sponsor them to keep the people together. Because right now that they are killed, what is stopping these countries from progressing the way they were supposed to?
Standing up.
That's a major question you have to ask yourself.
Taking charge of their lives and their country.
This is your land, for goodness sake. Come together, get a government that can actually continue from the one that was killed, what he was doing before. Even if it's not that way, you still have those natural resources that are given to you that these people were using efficiently to govern the nation. So what is happening to them now?
Okay.
Do you know what is happening in Libya? Do you know what is happening in Iraq? Do you know what is happening? Look, there's too much ignorance here. So go
they
on with
still have a government. They still have a leader. If the leader is efficient, if the leader is intelligent, if the leader is good, the leader is supposed to put things together to govern the nation.
What they are saying is taking charge of their lives. There's no excuse to a man standing up and taking charge of his life. No matter what, even if somebody
was done wrong. But where are they today? How many years?
All right, let's go back to Africa, Lagos, precisely. The mayor of London is in Lagos now, and he said he's observing something very interesting. Mayor Sadak Khan, you all know him, says Lagos is becoming the fastest growing tech cluster in the world. And that's something we need to look into. He's praising the city's dynamic innovation and ecosystem, and he's urging also stronger partners to come together and let this emerging Lagos tech thing grow. So, gentlemen, let's talk about Lagos and the tech world as the mayor of London is saying it. Most times it is outsiders that see the good in us, you know. We don't see it. Raji, tell us what is the government
It
doing?
is
What's
not.
Lagos government doing?
It is not. It's not a matter of the outsiders seeing the good in us. The
Mm-hmm.
Lagos ecosystem has been very, has been flourishing for decades. However, it seems as if most of the concentration is on finance, on finance, on payment platforms and things. It is blooming. Yes, we are
Okay,
doing
but
all so many.
yes, what I mean by that is, yes, you said it's blooming, but the impact is not really felt. It is still very
Felt by
fragmented.
who?
It is not,
No,
it's
felt
rickety,
felt felt
it's not firm.
felt by
Huh?
who? Felt by who?
Good.
The present,
Normally,
the present
if
minister.
you have where you have a situation like this, where the tech, innovation and the ecosystem, everything growing like this, if it was like India or London or United States, it will be felt. You can have the impact. But this one is just in a minimal way, rickety. You
I
know,
don't understand. I don't understand what you mean by you feel the impact. I don't know. I don't understand that.
for example,
Okay,
the stock market. Okay, George, go ahead.
Yeah.
Before I go,
let me just
before
say
I go.
something. Okay, this man, he came in. Sometimes what we call trash, they turn into cash. In an
Mhm,
interview that he did with Arise News,
mhm,
Cam praised the innovation boom in Yaba, dubbing it Yaba Corn Valley instead of
mhm.
Silicon Valley. And this man is recognizing what is going on. But what Massive Mark, what you are saying is, why are we not feeling it? Now,
Good.
recently, when the situation between Trump and Elon Musk happened, that's when we saw that America was actually funding a lot of Elon Musk's discoveries. So we didn't know that before. We thought it was just him. So he was getting a lot of money from the government to foster some of these innovations and some of these discoveries that are being made. So it was recently that we found out. So what this man is really saying is, when the government finds out that some of these things exist, the government will now turn around and start investing into those things in
Straight
order
up,
to
George.
help
That's
them
it.
to
Yes.
get
Yes.
off the ground and to stand on their own. Because when
Mhm.
they do, can you just imagine where Nigeria is having 24 hours light in the country, and then giving these young people, young minds, young intelligent minds, innovative minds, the opportunity to enhance their knowledge and their education in these telecom things that are happening. You would have been so surprised that Elon Musk would have been ousted by a Nigerian inventor. I am
Mm.
telling you. But because we don't give them, the opportunity to enhance their knowledge and increase their education, they end up using it in a criminal sense, because they can make more money that way than going through the normal way. So
Very
that's
good.
There's,
what you
there,
are really seeing. So this
Mm.
man now, this London-based firm, they call it fintech and sustainability, and tech joined the mission to explore. What they're trying to do is to collaborate together and send some people to train some of these young people. So when they train them to go through the right path, because as intelligence they already have it, and without going to school, they are
Mhm.
enhanced in a lot of areas. So can you
Okay, let's
imagine?
hear Raji. Raji has something to
Okay,
say. Yeah, Raji, go ahead. So George
okay,
has
yeah,
Raj, go
explained.
ahead.
yeah.
No.
You see, I am in the system. I am in the
Okay.
system, and there's no way that a Nigerian inventor will oust Elon Musk. You are just dreaming. Now, the Nigerian fintech is about one of the most uh, flourishing environment. Flutterwave, for instance, is valued at more than $3 billion. We have all those paying platforms. You have OPay, you have money point, or you have Smash and all those things. A lot of them are being in the fintech area. We are also doing a lot in robotics. So it's coming on. There isn't much that the government can do. I can assure you, was it Samsung and other MTN and other communication systems? We have what do you call it? We have platforms here that assist budding technocrats.
Okay.
It is
Very good.
flourishing. It is flourishing.
Now let me add to what you've said, Raji. Good one. AFDB, the African Development Bank, that our the Nigerian Akinwumi was once the boss. AFDB does, apart from agricultural investment, AFDB does something. It looks out on these kind of issues and comes to support, give grants, give some form of support to those those emerging SME outlets. Now, do you know?
MSME.
Cash. Yes, small, medium enterprises.
No, it is now MSME, micro, small, medium
Micro. Okay,
enterprises.
good. So lately a big chunk of grant has been put into that. Yes, but you see, it still doesn't get the results. It ends up going probably being used for other things. So these are the areas we're also looking at. How this observation that the mayor has seen, the mayor has observed, how this could also become a big thing and not just a small inside Lagos, inside Nigeria thing, and don't undermine the power of these boys. So don't say Nigeria can never beat marks. We know what I mean. Things change. So George knows what he was saying in that aspect too. So that's what we're saying. It shouldn't just be the fintech; it should be in all angles because the brain is there. The dynamic innovations from these boys
There
is moving.
are so many under the radar activities going on.
Okay.
That
Okay.
that is keeping Nigeria afloat.
Okay.
And in most cases, luckily, in most cases, it doesn't involve government input. And that's why it is even safe. Because whenever government comes into certain things, they disrupt the whole place. The system going on in Alaba among the Igbos is something that the government had better not put its hand. Otherwise, it will be disrupted. It is going on, and it is handling an economy of more than 4-5 trillion naira every year.
Every year.
The fintech environment is transacting businesses more than some are doing more than 1 trillion more than 10 trillion a year on all these payment platforms. Yes.
You see, efficient government usually discover these things. Rather than stealing our money and putting it out of the country, they can invest in these areas. They can build universities where these children, if you're interested, they can actually sponsor you and then teach you a lot of things and bring technological, professors to come here into Nigeria and start teaching these children. So yes, people are doing what they are doing individually. Elon Musk was doing what he was doing individually. The government was aiding him in order to do these things. So that's what we are talking about. We cannot be afraid of the government involvement, or else our government is not as efficient as it's supposed to be. Government is supposed to be giving aid and help. Can you just wait, please? Just wait. Let me finish. Then you can talk, please. Government comes in where they see progress being made and money that can actually enhance and make it better. That's why this man came and saw what he saw, and is encouraging us to do more, because their government would do more if it was their government that discovered that this is a very vibrant area where a lot of people are still struggling to make it. They will pour money into it, train these young people, make them brighter minds, and give them innovation. You go to America, and many universities today that are researching and bringing these innovative ideas, they are in universities. The government is sponsoring them. So that's what we are also saying. So the government should not just be interested in their own individual pockets. Some of this extra money should be poured into these areas. No, we're not discarding the individual efforts and the people that are doing what they're doing. But when you give them a little aid and a little help, technologically and educationally, they will be better. That's what we're saying. Nigerian government, please pay attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Powerful. Reggie, any response? Let's go to other stories.
No, I'll just let you ride with whatever you are saying.
Okay. So in fairness and I mean, putting it out as it is.
Let it ride and go to the next topic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In fairness, I'm putting it. I think what George is saying sounds real logical.
I think you shouldn't have made that comment. I think you should have just gone on to your next program.
Yes. Okay. It's okay. So yes, we are looking into other stories. Israel did some strike yesterday. Israel, I think the studio should have that video. Israel did some strike in Damascus, and it's more like an offensive this time. Raji and George, Israel says they are trying to settle two indigenous tribes inside Syria. But the Syrian government says no, Israel is just poke-nosing into an issue that doesn't concern them. So what my question is Israel now like the big brother of the Middle East? I mean, why going to other people's affair, other tribal and ethnic issues, sectarian issues, like they will call it? What do you guys say? You have that story?
First of all,
Israel launches what you call fierce airstrikes in Damascus to protect Syria's Druze. I don't know how do you pronounce Druze or Druze minority. This is the place where most of a lot of Jews are there. Actually, that's their dwelling place. So in a bold escalation in the Middle East, as as Israel strikes, hard in Damascus, targeting the Syria Defense Ministry and areas near the presidential palace, a dramatic move was made. For that particular small community, because they saw that there was some kind of a conflict that is happening, which they felt that the government was not protecting these people, and that's the reason why they're doing it. Now, whether this is good or not is another question. Is there not a diplomatic way of handling this rather than just striking these people? Are they looking for problem in another area? Because to me, for you to just strike without trying to negotiate and call the government and say, can you do something to protect these people? Because these are our brothers. So Israel accused Syria of the new interim government under what you call Ahmed al-Sharaa. That's enabling jihadists element and failing to stop attacks on the Druze. Israel Druze citizens had called on their government to intervene. So it was the Druze government, that little people that called Israel and said, these people are about to wipe us out, and nobody is coming to help us. So whether this move that they made is the right move, that's the major question. Because they could have actually called the government and said, say, protect our people that are in this particular area, rather than just striking them. So, and they said they will not tolerate threats or the targeting of our Druze brothers. Israel said, UN envoy Danon demanding accountability at the UN Security Council meeting said on Thursday. So this is something that another area where the world might be coming against Israel for preemptively striking these people. It's almost like they're looking for trouble. They're already dealing with Hezbollah, dealing with Iran, dealing with other things. So this is just a question that needs to be answered. Why this strike without diplomatic negotiations to stop these people from abusing the Druze
Okay,
brothers.
thank you, George. Good one. So, Raji, I know this time you have it right. What's the update on this? Israel launching
Netanyahu,
Damascus.
Netanyahu is just involved in endless wars to save himself. The moment the wars stop, Netanyahu is going to be indicted for corruption, for any other things. Prior to October 7, 2023, there were demonstrations almost across the whole of Israel calling for his head. He allowed October 7 to happen so that he would have an excuse for him to go to war. Yeah, he's now distracting attention from the carnage, from the ethnic cleansing that is ongoing in Gaza by involving in other scenes. He's fighting in Lebanon. He's fighting in Syria.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting ready to for another strike against Iran, because he's still smarting at the beating that he got from the Iranians.
The beating.
The Iranians are yes, are beating for him. It's endless. It's just a matter of endless wars to keep himself in power.
Endless wars to keep himself.
The beating he got from Iranian, where the Iranian government, the leaders are hiding like chickens. Daddy.
No. Where was Netanyahu himself during the strike?
It's crazy.
Netanyahu escaped to Cyprus. He escaped to Cyprus from Israel. So what are you saying about Kenny? So when the countries are at war, the leaders should just come out and be waving their hands in the air. What kind of talk is that?
You see, the leaders are afraid. All of them they tuck their tails under their legs and they're running like chickens. The point is this. There are so many moves that are being made.
There's something that have
the attack in Iran is legitimate. Because Iran openly swears for the annihilation of Israel. Somebody is talking.
Let's hear Raji. Raji, let's hear him.
When you're talking, nobody interrupts you.
Let's
Just be quiet. Let me finish. Then you can respond or react. You're not listening. I don't understand. All I can when two people are talking, nobody is talking. You know that.
I'm giving you notice, sir.
Okay, so let me just.
I don't think I should continue this program.
Go ahead, George.
I don't understand what is going on. I mean, we are here with differing opinions. You know, different people bring their own opinions in, and it's not a place to be emotional. Mm-hmm. You know, we speak our own truth the way we understand it from where we are. It's not something to come out here. You know, everybody have their own truth, whether we like it or not. There is always three sides to every story: the left and the right and the center. So, you know, because you growing up in Africa, your mentality and the way you see things might be different from somebody who grew up in another part of the world. And that is the reason why that's the beauty of SSM. Because people come from different parts of the world. We have people from Germany. We have people from England. We have people from Russia. We have people from even, remote areas that contribute to this news. And the beauty of it is I'm coming from a North American understanding.
Yeah.
As a Nigerian, Canadian, Nigerian, American person. So, but if you live in Nigeria and haven't gone abroad, the way you think might be different.
Completely
so it's not anything to get emotional or get upset about, because everybody, what it is this. Yesterday when we had the news, we saw people bringing in different views. There was respect over. Everybody will talk, they keep quiet, the other person will bring their own rebuttal. That's how it is done. Don't get emotional simply because...
No, it's okay. It's okay, George. It's okay. All right, so George, I think our time is even up, even though we had that small thing. But it's okay. The words are spoken, the views have been given out, and I appreciate all we've done here. So, viewers, this is it. Friday International Update. George, Raja, and myself Even though we disagree, we agree to disagree, we disagree to agree, but it's all part of it. So until we come again on Monday, George, thank you for coming. Thank
It's
you
my
for
pleasure to be here, and
all
I
the
will
views.
continue to be here. Viewers from around the world, we
Thank
just want to say we hear you. Have a wonderful,
Yeah,
great weekend, and may God
nice.
bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and bless
Amen.
our president, Asiwaju.
Good.
May we just stay safe in this
Nice.
weekend, and we'll see you
Nice,
again on
George.
Monday.
See you again. So viewers, till we come again, have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.